I don't answer unknown numbers. Not anymore. Some calls don't bring information. They bring consequences. The phone kept ringing. Once, twice. That's when I knew. Only one kind of person calls this late and doesn't care if you're ready. I stared at the screen. No name, no number, just silence waiting to speak. I told myself I was done with this life. Then I answered, and everything I buried started breathing again.
We've been looking for you, Bolo.
File arrived encrypted. That told me everything. When I opened it, I stopped breathing because the name wasn't random. I'd heard it before. Not in the streets, in rooms with power. This wasn't a hit. This was a message. I closed the file, sat in the dark. Some names cost more than bullets. And this one could start a war no one would admit they were fighting. That's when I realized saying no was already off the table.
You have 48 hours.
Every contract has rules. These weren't guidelines. They were boundaries. No witnesses, no delays, no questions. Then came the rule they didn't bother explaining. I wasn't allowed to walk away. That's when I felt it. That pressure behind the eyes. Not fear. Awareness. You don't set rules like this unless you already know how someone moves. I checked my mirrors, the street, the rooftops. This wasn't just a contract. It was a test. And they weren't watching to see if I'd succeed. They were watching to see how I'd fail.
We're closer than you think.
I told myself it was one name. Then another file came through. Different industry, same level, then another. Politics, finance, culture. No street ties, no obvious connection. Except one thing. They all sat where influence lives. That's when I understood. This wasn't about removing people. It was about correcting outcomes. I wasn't being hired as a weapon. I was being used as alignment.
You're not the first to see the list.
They finally named themselves. Not with pride, not with threats, just fact. Black Vault. They didn't call it an organization. Didn't call it a network. They called it infrastructure. Power, the voice said, doesn't disappear. It moves. Black Vault doesn't chase chaos. They manage it, and now, so did I.
You work for Black Vault now.
That's when I realized something else. I wasn't alone. Some of the files had timestamps. Some were already opened. Some were closed, without my fingerprints anywhere near them. Empty apartments, abandoned cars, jobs that never finished. Black Vault didn't just hire me. They tested many. Some passed, some vanished. I wondered how many thought they were special, right before they weren't.
Some of them didn't make it out.
They didn't tell me how to do it. They showed me when. Routines, patterns, moments no one notices. That's how power gets sloppy. That's how people get comfortable. I watched the footage again. This wasn't execution planning. This was inevitability mapping. They weren't asking if I'd move. They were measuring how long I'd hesitate.
You have one chance.
I didn't load a weapon. I didn't follow anyone. I prepared, mentally, spiritually, for the kind of decision that doesn't undo itself. Because once you step into a system like this, you don't finish jobs. You become one. And Black Vault doesn't offer exits, only forward motion.
When you move, there's no reset.